teachers would buy all of my artwork every time I would have a show. And that was my dog. He gets like that sometimes. So art was my forte, and cooking. Um, I found a real love for cooking. I majored in food science in school. Took 3 years of it. Uh, Originally, I just took the class because there's lots of girls there, and I thought that'd be pretty cool, right? And it was, but as it turned out, I was a really good cook. And, the teacher immediately recognized that, and wasn't much good at math or English or anything else. But yeah. Oh, we got some company, I see. Live here. I don't really need an audience for this, but that's okay, I guess. So after high school, grew up in an oil town, obviously, so I didn't quite get into the art like I'd hoped to. Ended up in the oil industry like everybody else. Eventually moved to Edmonton, away from the little town. First job was a file clerk. Yeah, that's right. I was a file clerk for the Workers' Compensation Board of all fucking things. And I was a heat treatment specialist, which I got to do more and more of the heat treating because it paid more. And although I was out of town. So for 25 years, that's what I did. I traveled all over the United States, all over Canada. I actually worked in 48 different states, including Alaska. And I guess what you would call my last job was at Dofasco Steel in Ontario, Hamilton. And we were heating a bunch of coke ovens. They shipped the coke from the coal from West Virginia up to Hamilton, and that's where it'd be processed and then off to the steel mill. Well, the conditions there were appalling. It was extremely hot, dirty, dangerous. I worked the night shift by myself, um, running a lot of equipment, which was dangerous. Nonetheless, I decided to make a YouTube video about my endeavor there. And, well, I really enjoyed it. It was the first time dabbling in video. And it became a real fun little project. Never mind the one I was supposed to be working on. Well, so before launching that first YouTube video that got me fired from my job of 25 years, I sat in my hotel room waiting to press that last button that was going to launch that YouTube video. I didn't quite know what exactly was going to happen, but I had a feeling it wasn't going to be good. And it wasn't. It wasn't. I'd always been a bit of a, push everything to the limit sort of guy, a bit of an instigator. And that wasn't the last time. So I pushed the button. I launched the video. And less than 24 hours later, I was off the job. My manager phoned me and said, I'm going home. I didn't realize that I would never work in that industry again. Subsequently, I was pretty much, I used to say blackballed from the industry or whole. So I guess I had no choice but to learn something else. I was kind of bored anyway. It was about time. I went back to school. It took about 6 months to become a welding inspector. Found that very interesting. It was a new challenge. Still had to do with metal and the oil industry. And had to serve as a level 1 for a couple of years. Eventually, I got my level 2 status, which gave me signing authority and basically the okay to start my own business, which I did. And very successful, I might add. It was, when you're working for yourself, you tend to do things a lot better, because it's your reputation on the line. But I've been having back problems throughout the years. Uh, my coworkers used to come to my room with a luggage cart. They would take me on a ride on the luggage cart all the way down to the kitchen because I couldn't walk. But they didn't want me to leave the job. I was good at what I did. And we all got along. Typical welding inspectors, nobody really liked because they were a bit of an asshole. They were always just looking for ways to hold up the project, so to speak. Well, rather than doing that, I got along with all these guys and would hang out with them after work and became pretty good friends with the welders, which was rare for an inspector to hang out with the welders, so to speak. And if they did anything wrong, rather than run to the office and report it like a little snitch, I'd just simply tell them, look, I'll come around later this afternoon and we'll revisit this. And if you guys can fix everything up and make it all copacetic before then, all that's required is the end result. We don't need to talk about what happened to get there. And everybody really appreciated that. Made a lot of friends. But eventually it got to the point where I couldn't do the job anymore. My back was just, there was no way. So I did what every Canadian would do. I filed for disability. Well, that disability claim was denied again and again and again. I appealed, and appealed. For 3 years, it was denied. During that time, of course, I had bills to pay, house, car, business, and lost it all. My Audi TT I sold for $20,000. Paid $100,000 for it. It's worth a lot more than I got for it, that's for sure. Nonetheless, it was a big decision I had to make, and the only way I could see anything panning out was to get the hell out of Canada. There's no way anybody, I don't know how anybody lives in Canada on a pension anyway. It's ridiculous. How are you supposed to live on $1,000 a month? That's barely going to cover your rent. Maybe a bit of craft dinners and wieners, Forget trying to maintain a vehicle. That would have been literally impossible. So me and my, still wife-to-be, who's also on disability, we packed up and moved to Mexico with what little bit of money we had left. Well, we ended up finding a nice little place out in the country, away from town. It's a lot cheaper to buy out in the country, like anywhere. So we bought a piece of property out here for $15,000. But it was just a piece of property. So we had enough money for a tent and food and a solar panel and a little fridge. So we slept in the tent and shit in the bucket for a year while we built the house. Of course, first room we built was a bedroom, so we'd get the hell out of the tent. And the second room was obviously the bathroom. Tired of that bucket. It's funny, we had actually taken one of the little swimming noodles and I cut it out and put it around the rim of the 5-gallon bucket so it wouldn't hurt your ass when you're sitting on it in the morning. Big old dump there. Yeah, it worked. And, now we got a nice house. It's tiled. Roof over our heads. It don't leak anymore. The previous roof got blown off by a tornado, so we got the second roof now. But we managed to rebuild our lives. We have a vehicle. Got my first dog. Never had a dog in my life, so it's kind of nice. I refused to get a dog in Canada because I didn't have enough property. I was always living in small places. And I didn't think that'd be fair to the dog. Big dog in an apartment, that just doesn't fly with me. So we've had Buddy now 15 years. It's taken us that long to build the house because, we built it on a pension. So there wasn't much money to allocate to materials every month. But here we are. And Yeah. So that video that I made, first YouTube video, got me fired, but then got me a better job. And it was kind of funny because the job I ended up doing as an inspector, I overlooked all the people that I used to work for. Then they worked for me. I was signing all their paperwork. Kind of turned the tables on things. I didn't let it go to my head. I just let them know that, if they messed up, that I know so much about their industry that they would surely get caught. So they never did. It was a good working relationship. Everything worked out fine. So moving to Mexico was a big deal. It's not easy just to pack up and move and leave everything behind. You can't bring a lot of stuff with you other than what you can fit in your suitcases. So each time I'd go back to Canada, I would fill suitcases and bring them back again and again and again. But still a lot of personal stuff we had to part with. It was just stuff. It's not anything of any great importance. And, now we've built a life here, and it's going pretty good. I started to get back into my artwork, which was good. Recycling aluminum, melting, creating art. I sold some stuff in a gallery for a while, and trying to make a little bit of extra money. Eh, it was ended up being not a waste of time, but I certainly wasn't getting paid for all the time I was putting into it. And as we know, most artists aren't successful until after they're dead. Um, I didn't have that much time to spend on it. No, we tried peddling a little bit of weed. And, well, that wasn't worth it either. The amount of work, the amount of risk, that was no good. Yeah, and it just wasn't right. So our latest endeavor is YouTube. But what was I going to do on YouTube? I'm an artist. I'm a self-taught musician. I'm a pretty good cook. I'm a bit of a philosopher. After all the shit I've done and people I've interacted with over the years, many different kinds of people, but it's taught me how to be a good judge of character, how to get along with different people from different places. And, well, like I say, here we are now making videos again after getting fired. I did make one other video. It was a music video I shot in my living room. It's still on YouTube today. It's on another channel. A song by the name of Hell Awaits All Bad Girls, which was written about an ex-girlfriend of mine. She was I don't know, lack of a better term, a crackhead, I guess. Stole my car, broke into my house, stole my safe, stole all kinds of shit. Bitch got away with it. So, the least I could do was write a song about her. We did. I guess we're saying this too. Oh, look, we got 0 viewers. Isn't that something? Hmm. Kind of relax a little bit then. No need to rush through this. So, I did get married at one point in Hungary. Hungarian girl. I got married in Budapest. That didn't work out too well. Apparently, she was more interested in a Canadian citizenship than me. So as soon as we had a child together, once she had her citizenship, she was attempting to take the child back to Hungary, and I'd never see her again. So there was some ugly court battles, custody, disallowed to see my daughter for 2 years. But old fella I was working with told me to fire my lawyer. I said, why you got a lawyer? You can speak for yourself. Fire the lawyer. You'll do better. I did. And I did do better. I got everything I wanted, plus some. But even though I got her back in my life, too much time had passed, and she was no longer interested in a relationship with her father. So Mexico then became the obvious choice. That was a bit of the breaking point. I immersed myself in work and got through it. Moving out to the jungle wasn't just because it was pretty, it was cheap and survival. I didn't have much left to work with. So with my art, my food, and the only thing I had left, my voice. So the Mexican Hillbilly isn't just a cooking channel, it's my rebellion. It's where I share the skills and lessons I've learned the hard way. Through fire, failure, fry pans. You'll see authentic cooking, original metal art, and hard truths, peppered with heat and honesty. But my channel was kind of scattered, I had too much stuff on there. The algorithm couldn't figure out what the hell I was about. Even though I had 40 years of cooking under my belt, and it's not only visual arts. I've been through enough shit that most men would have probably put an end to themselves. But I struggled through it. I'm still here, still cooking, still telling the truth, still starting over. We're just going to take a little break here. Ain't nobody watching anyway, so we'll have a smoke and then we'll continue in about 5 minutes. So, yeah. See you in 5 minutes. So I'm struggling with the YouTube channel and trying to find my niche, figure out what the hell it is I'm actually good at. I decided to join the Video Ranking Academy with the Think Media team, Sean Cannell. And it's been a big help. I've actually been able to clarify exactly what it is I need to do and concentrate on one thing. So I stopped making stupid shorts and dancing horse videos and concentrated on my cooking. So this channel is kind of about people who believe in good health and good people, and sometimes just lose their way. For people who believe in doing things the right way, even when it's hard. So if that's you, then welcome to the family. All zero of you. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, today don't know how to cook. A lot of kids don't know how to cook. They eat at fast food restaurants all the time. Unhealthy crap. Simply because nobody ever showed them how to cook. It's a responsibility for you to teach your kids how to cook. I mean, if you don't teach them how to cook, how are they going to learn? How are they going to learn to take care of their families? Eat healthy. I guess sometimes losing everything is exactly what you need to start living a better life. So on this channel, you'll discover how home cooking can truly save lives. Healthy eating starts at home with fresh ingredients, safe utensils, smart kitchen habits, good hygiene. Like I said, too many people eat out just because no one showed them how to cook. So that's my intention. I want to teach people how to cook. Cooking is more than just preparing food. It's your responsibility to teach, pass on the healthy lifestyle. So, on this channel, we're going to focus on using fresh, real ingredients, avoid processed foods, practice food safety in the kitchen, learning the art, science, and history of cooking at home. Did you know that Mexican families often live longer than other cultures simply because they eat good food and they cook at home? How many people do you know that have ever had food poisoning? How many people do you know got it cooking food at home? Probably very few. So that tradition kind of inspires this channel. The hillbilly part, well, I just became that way. I mean, I wasn't always a hillbilly. I used to be able to afford dental and all the luxuries. And now we just live a pretty simple life. So the Mexican hillbilly isn't just about food. It's about culture, responsibility, philosophy. Probably just turn this into a video. But it's kind of the way it's going to be. So my plan here is I want to do one video a week and one live stream a week and monitor our progress while I'm taking the VRA courses, the Video Ranking Academy. I'm going to ask you to help me review these videos that I make when we do our live streams. And we can monitor our progress, see what we've learned each week through VRA. And with your help, your opinion, we can hopefully grow this channel into a success story. And maybe one day we'll get a check from YouTube and get my teeth fixed. That'd be cool. While I've been living here, and this was another reason I decided on the cooking, many reasons, but that was my neighbor is the excellent chef. And she's also the two-time winner of the Puerto Vallarta Mexican cooking contest. So I picked up a lot of recipes and hints and ideas from her. They have a pig farm up the hill. They farm calabaza in their fields, which is similar to zucchinis. Zucchinis are straight and calabazas are curly. Basically the same thing. And well, to give you some idea, you know, them old plows people would hold on to and they'd stand on the back of it and the horses pull it through the field? Well, they still use one. What makes me a good cook? It's passion. Many times I've been told that I should probably open a restaurant. And I've always said, no, I would lose the passion if I did that. And I don't want that. To this day, I cook at home every night. My wife has muscular dystrophy, so she doesn't stand long in the kitchen. So I do all the cooking. And I cooked for my parents before they passed away. My mom really appreciated my cooking. My mom was German, and so I got a lot of recipes from her. My ex-wife was Hungarian. I got a lot of recipes from her, a lot of education. Uh, Tonight we're making pizza from scratch. And I guess that's pretty much it. Um, my friend Philly, he's a great chef as well. So I learned a lot of stuff from him. He's featured in a few of my videos. So I'm trying to make this channel not just about my recipes, but about everybody's. Getting the whole community involved in what we're trying to build here. Everybody's got some good ideas. I'm just trying to take all the good ones from everyone and mold them into my own. So, I'm just say, cooking isn't just about knowing how to cook. It's an art. Not only are my meals delicious, but sometimes they're quite beautiful to look at too. It's about science, the safety behind cooking, um, which metal objects should be used for what purpose. Galvanizing, for example, should not be used for heating. You can use a galvanized bucket for milking a cow, but you don't want to cook a bucket of shrimp in a galvanized bucket and poison your whole family. When I first moved down here, I seen a lot of people doing just that. So immediately, I cautioned them all. Cooking is also about history. In fact, Mexican people and Chinese people, I'm not sure which one it is. I'm not going to quote on that. We're certainly not going to turn to Chat GTP for an answer like that. But I'm pretty sure that Mexicans live longer than, well, Americans, for example. And it's your responsibility to cook at home, to cook good, healthy food for you, your family, everybody you care about. It's your responsibility. And by doing all that, you're going to develop your own philosophy. And it's going to lead to a healthier lifestyle. We're going to talk about hot peppers, how they can benefit you, how garlic can benefit you, how avoiding plastics can benefit you, keeping a clean kitchen can benefit you. I remember the Mythbusters one time, they did a little thing on what was the dirtiest item in your house as far as, germs. They tested bathroom items, they tested all kinds of things. The number one most dirtiest item they found was the kitchen rag. Amazing. I always like to use a cloth rag. Maybe 2 or 3 days, then out it goes. Goes to the wash and we start with a new one. Because cleanliness in the kitchen is the number one priority. I refuse to cook in a kitchen unless it's clean. So join me on this journey. Me, my wife, and my dog Buddy. And we'll build this channel together. And we'll build a community. And we'll eat good. We'll live long. And I guess you can say prosper. Yeah. Thanks for joining me. Even though nobody showed up. That's okay. I can blame only myself and my kerfluffle we had earlier. But this was our first live stream. We got through it. And you know what? They'll just get better and better and better. So we've got lots planned for you. And I guess we'll see you next week. Or one or two of you anyway. Thanks for listening. Have a good night. Adios.